So to the main point of this video, earlier today, EVO put out their early bird rankings. So if you don't know what that is, it's ranking based on the number of people that signed up. So I'll bring it to you here. At number 9, we have Skullgirls. This shouldn't really come to a surprise. It's fucking Skullgirls. Generally, it's a really small game. It's been a small game for years, despite being the oldest one out of all of them. But even then, it is still a popular game, despite being at 9. The fact it's even at EVO is still huge for it. So, even then, it's still really impressive. But bringing us down to number 8, we have MK11. So, at this one, I'm kind of surprised since it wasn't at 2020, or at least online EVO, considering it has rollback netcode. So, I mean, I don't know what, made WB make the decision now compared to before, but it must have been monetary or something like that, but whatever. But there is one thing with these two games that I think is really important to point out, which conspiracy moment to why I think it's like this. So if you just give me a second. Alright, I'll bring it back and you'll see what I mean, why I think that's probably the reason why they're I think it's quite obvious that these are both Sonic Fox centric games, so I feel like that might turn some people away if the person can't beat Sonic Fox. But even then, even if someone tried, they would most definitely win, because it's their main games. So those two ones are Sonic Fox games. So, but moving on though, this one kind of surprised me, but not by much. You have Melty at second, which is a fairly new game. It came out, I believe, earlier, or at least mid-September of last year, yeah. So it came out then, and since then it's kind of been a rocky road to where content, it comes in bursts, where you have 2 characters come, and then you wait 3 months, and then 2 characters come, plus 2 stages, 2 songs. I don't know, it's a fair enough deal, but I guess it makes sense why it's 7, considering that rate of updates, and plus generally it's a very niche series. If it was something I feel like it's saying a lot. I believe it is writing off the tails of the Melty Blood name. But even then, that's still a very grassroots kind of tightly knit community. Even then, so if we're discussing that, and even then they're gonna stick to MBAA. So I mean, if anything, I feel like if I were Type Moon and if I were French Bed, it would be best to just make a Fate fighting game or a Carnival Phantasm fighting game rather than just making Tsukihime, where it's just a big thing in Japan. Hell, the fucking visual novel it's based on never got a release in America. So you're already alienating that audience that wasn't invested before. So I don't know, I'm not a fucking businessman. For all I know, I could be completely wrong. But moving on, you have number 6, Fighters. Not surprised at all. Dragon Ball's been on the down low recently, despite being popular. Fucking Tsukihime, yeah. I'm not dissing on the visual novel, by the way. It's fucking Nasu. It's fantastic, no matter how you look at it. I'm just saying, it needs that global appeal, especially in an America-based tournament. So, but yeah, even then, I'm still sticking to my roots, saying they should have made Carnival Phantasm fighting game. But hey, that's just me. But yeah, Fighters, not surprised. But I'm sure I don't even have to explain it. It's been around, done game. Still has a player base, and yeah. Now this is the surprise. Grand Blue at 5. I think that shocked everyone, because for the past 2 years, it's been the dead game. It's been joked and memed to death, and it doesn't have rollback even, but it's still beating out popular games like Dragon Ball FighterZ and games that came out way after it with rollback with Melty Blood. So I'm guessing it just has that secret player base that's been training in the depths. So, and with a big tournament like this, they're all coming out to show support, which I think is fucking awesome. You know? So a game like that, I think it'll be really sick, and we're all gonna be surprised. And if they have that rollback announcement afterwards, I think we're gonna have a Melty Blood wave, a Grand Blue wave. My bad. So yeah, I think that'll be fucking awesome. So moving on, we get to Tekken 7, which generally I think it makes sense why it's at 4, but I'm shocked it's not top 3. But it makes sense why it's 4. So moving on to 3, got King of Fighters. This is kind of like the golden baby of this EVO, so it makes sense why it's higher, considering it's new. And it's popular too. It still has a fairly consistent player base if you look at sources like FG Charts, where it's generally in the top 10 most played currently. Street Fighter 5, not surprised. Fucking Street Fighter. You have big Twitch streamers mauling over it, which I find really funny. Just hold back the block. But yeah, even then, Guilty Gear Strive at 1, no surprise. It's clearly taking over in popularity over something like Street Fighter, which even then, despite being legacy, usually it's number 1, leading last. So even then, I'm happy Guilty Gear is number 1. It really does deserve it. It's a fantastic game. Definitely play it. So yeah, generally I'm not surprised with these results, and by the way it's going, I think it's really deserved that Guilty Gear gets the last slot, considering how much it came from with Exard, where it's still a popular game, but nowhere near compared to Strive. Like, even if you're an Exard fan, you'll still be like lying to yourself saying it's more popular than Strive. So yeah, generally I'm really I'm happy with how the leaderboard is looking, and the games chosen I think are also really good. I would have preferred maybe like a legacy game, but if we're sticking at just a 9, I think these 9 are some of the best you can have. I think that's really it. We can discuss. Nah, that's a different video. That's a different video entirely. So to kind of wrap things up, in the description there'll be the link to the stream, and follow me there. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't. So definitely do that. You got Twitter, you got the Instagram, all those will be linked. So be sure to follow each and every one of them, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. See ya.